Hello and welcome to the next episode of Strawberry Patches podcast. My name is Marina. I'm coming to you from beautiful New Zealand, from the North Island, somewhere, well, actually Browns Bay, North Shore of Auckland City, and it's a beautiful day today. And I wanted to show you how wonderful the sea looks. We are just here with my little one, and of course wearing our knitted stuff and eating some South African sausages, having fun at the playground, which is right behind me. It's a wonderful playground. Oh, I love it here. In today's episode, I wanted to show you everything that I didn't show last time, meaning some spinning, some of the baby cardigans that I knitted, some works in progress, and also tell you about my plans for Woolfest. I hope you are here for all the knitting and fibre goodness. And let's start. Hello dear friends, and welcome to the 78th episode of Strawberry Patches podcast. My name is Marina. I'm coming to you from Auckland, New Zealand. It's a very lovely day, more so that I can finally record. I wanted to record just before Woolfest so that I can invite you all to come, and if you're in Auckland or in the area, I wanted to invite you to come to see me and all the other amazing traders. I will not be trading, but I love to see you guys. So if you're there, come say hi. This video is going to be about some lovely yarn and some finished objects, which are baby knits today, and some hand spinning. I want to share with you what I've been up to on my wheel, and also some future plans and projects in progress, and also something else that I'm wearing. So if you love all of that, chatting about knitting, spinning, purchasing yarn, which I think is a separate hobby, so I hope you will like this. And my daughter is asleep, but if she wakes up, she will join us like she did last time. But I think today no, because we had a lovely walk. I made sure that she's tired, so she's had a good lunch, so we're good. Okay, let's start. I'm really excited to be podcasting so soon. It's been really crazy. In last year, I've only done 3 episodes. If you're new here, first of all, welcome, and a little bit of a backstory. I have 2 daughters. One of them is 4.5, another one is 1.5. And that's exactly why last year was so hard to podcast, because I just didn't have time, you know. And what I've been doing, I've been knitting lots of baby knits and all that I will tell you about, and something that you see here I will tell you soon too. Thank you for all your lovely comments. I was so happy to read them. It's so nice to hear from you guys and know that you're still waiting for these videos, even though it's been so sporadic. I just realized recently that this is the month May is my 7th podiversary month. I cannot believe it. It's been 7 years. I started in 2017, maybe it was even April. But in 2017, I lived in Istanbul, and I was just about to leave it and come to Bali, where I was going to reunite with my boyfriend, who then became my husband, and we got married, and then we moved here to Auckland, New Zealand. And I've been so lucky to have met so many Fibre friends, and yes, this is exactly what I will be telling you today about all of my acquaintances, friends, Fibre family that have inspired me to do all of this. So let's start with what I'm wearing. This, you probably recognize it, although this is the short sleeve version. This is the Andrea Maury's So Faded sweater. This is my second one. The first one I made was long sleeve version in the purple colors, and this time I wanted to do the full sleeve version, but my family agrees that short sleeve version looks really good. If I change my mind, I can always add the sleeves on because I dyed the yarn enough for full sleeve version. Okay, let me stand up. Here we are. There isn't much of a fading going on. As you can see up to here, it's like darker blue. Then I added some speckly yarn, and then there's some lightly variegated yarn. And I love this design, like all of her designs. Andrea Maury is one of my favorite designers. Actually, she might be the favorite one. I've knitted many of hers. I've knitted her rose cardigan, 2 So Faded sweaters. I've made comfort fade cardigan and the shawl, feathers, birds of a feather shawl. And yeah, I'm planning on making more. I'm going to wear it at Woolfest, so hopefully you will spot me easily. And yay, this is my Woolfest sweater. Okay, let's move on. So last time that I recorded, which was, oh my god, 3 weeks ago, I didn't have time to tell you all about my spinning and some of the acquisitions, yarn acquisitions, and finished projects that I have. So let's start with some of these wonderful yarn. So I was browsing on the internet, on Instagram actually, and I came across this beautiful design with lovely embroidery for kids. It was a cardigan with lots of like flowers and birds and bees and sheep, and I fell in love with it. And then I couldn't find the yarn. Anyways, long story short, finally I found the yarn, and the designer of this sweater cardigan that I'm going to show you is a Russian lady whose name is Olga, and I will link her Instagram if you want to check it out. And yeah, I ordered some drops online, and this is what I'm talking about. This is the Drops Air, which is 50-gram balls that are amazingly fluffy yarn. This is like a cord which has blown fibers into it, and it is 65 alpaca, 28 polyamide, and 7% wool. And I purchased lots of colors. So this one, I'm making a ranunculus from that, and I'll show it to you in a bit. So at the time that I got the yarn finally, Olga was making a knit along in the Telegram group, or WhatsApp group. It was a WhatsApp group. So I thought, yeah, sure. And this cardigan, it took me like only 5 days or something to make. I couldn't believe it. And it is super light as well. I think it was 3 balls of yarn, so 150 gram only. Unbelievable. My daughter loves it. So this is for my oldest one, for Lydia. And she asked me to make some sheep, which I did. And at that time I didn't have the white drops yarn, so I used my own hand spun to make these sheep, this ugly looking sheep. Anyways, my daughter says that they just need a little bit of grass so that everybody can guess that these are sheep. So I made these 2 sheep, and then I immediately cast on the second cardigan for my youngest. As you can imagine, this took me even less time to make. And they are identical except for the sizing. Oh yes, and of course the embroidery. I am not a big fan of embroidery, to be honest, so I didn't do anything yet here. And I might do some flowers I think maybe some flowers or bees. My daughter loves bees actually. The only thing is I don't have any black or yellow, so maybe I'll just do some white flowers or something, I don't know. A lovely pattern, super easy, especially with this yarn. It's incredible. This is like 16 stitches per 10 centimeters and it flies off the needles, seriously. Beautiful, beautiful yarn, beautiful pattern, super squishy, so squishy that I said to myself, okay, that's enough. They both have one, now I need one. And of course I'm making myself one, and it's going to be the Ranunculus by Midori Hirose. And actually I wanted to do the same amount of ease that the pattern calls for, so I knitted the whole thing up to here, made it cropped, and then I tried it on, and some people said it looks fine, but my family and I, as I tried it at home, I just didn't want all that flapping here. I mean, I want this cozy sweater to kind of hug my body more, so I unraveled this much, which is not a problem because it's really, really quick knit. Now the only thing is I need to figure out the beginning of the row. Since I've unraveled it, I have no idea where it is. So I'm gonna make a smaller size and more fitted version. And oh, this yarn, I'm in love with it. As you can see, this is the white colorway. What's the name? I think 01, yes, 01. And I was going to finish this first, but then I got carried away with my own hand dyed because I was craving for something vivid and juicy color, which this one is. Yeah, so this will be a sweater for mama, for me. I have more colors that I purchased that are in that room. My husband gifted me a whole big shelf section where I keep all my yarn now, so when I wake up I see all of my beautiful yarn puppies and I think about them and I dream about them and make plans for them. Okay, I'm knitting something else. So this is another project that I'm making. If you can't tell by now that I'm in love with this yarn, I bet you can. Look at this color. I only ordered, it was hard to understand online what color it actually is, but I'm loving it. I wish I ordered enough for myself, but I only have 3 bowls, and I found the Drops Garn Studio has a free pattern called Lavender Kisses, I think, Clouds Kisses, something like that. Smiles, Lavender Smiles. Anyways, the link to the pattern is here. So it only takes 3 bowls, and I'm making the size 5-year-old because my 4.5 is growing fast. So as you can see, this is potato chippy knitting. It's just in the round knitting, and this is a very, very simple top with kind of a very straight neck, which will be done very, very soon. Oh, and I have a tiny stitch marker that I actually made myself. Hope you can see that. Okay, and as you can see, I love purple. I even made my nails purple because I really love this color. I'm thinking of dyeing some more purple or lavender and making myself maybe a cardigan or a vest. That would be cool. A vest would be nice. So yeah, another work in progress. So it's going to be all over the place. Works in progress and finished objects. Another finished object that I want to share is some socks that I made for my daughter. I combined here this bright yellow and blue is my hand dyed leftovers, and this is the Zauber ball, God knows what number or name. I had held it together with some I don't know how to call this. I found this cone somewhere and I have no idea what this yarn is, but I'm using it to hold together for socks, and I like how thick the socks become. So a pair of socks for my oldest. Right, so I think, oh, another one, another finished object. This is the most recent one. As I shared with you last time, this book, Mush and Friends, which was written by the super talented Cynthia Valley. She's a designer, toys designer, who lives in France, and oh, that's her. I cannot imagine how much work she put into this book, with all the beautiful illustrations and drawings, and oh my god, these 12 characters that she designed and knitted and written down the instructions. This must have taken forever, but they are all so cute. So I made a cat. Let me find a picture of the cat. It's so cute, and I think mine looks very quite alike. Only I added the whiskers because I think the whiskers just are super cute. I'm still knitting the pants, but I call it finished. So Giorgio, let me introduce you to Giorgio. Yes, I will show you who I'm going to make next. Giorgio is, let's undress quickly. You don't mind, Giorgio? With this beautiful cat with tiny ears. I ordered some lovely cat buttons from Etsy in different colors, but I thought yellow would look nice on this face. And then I added some white whiskers because a cat without whiskers, that's weird. Then I absolutely love the bottom. It's just so nice and round, like the proper cats. And I wanted to add some white to the tail. Now, this sweater, which, because I was waiting for the eyes to arrive, I started the sweater first. So how you knit this toys is you start with 4 tiny stitches, and then you do some increases, and it's 4 needles. It's crazy, but it gets easier once you're past the head. She asks you to make the head and then insert the eyes and not knit any further until you have the eyes, because then it's quite hard to put them in. So that's why I waited, and while I was waiting I made this slip stitch cardigan. This is how it looks from the inside. So basically it's color work, but you don't knit with 2 colors at a time, you knit with 1 color at a time. And the bag, it's also very cute. I forgot to say, I am knitting, I have knitted this lovely cat with Union Fibre colorway Shadow. And I met Bonnie. If you haven't watched the previous episode, go watch it. I met Bonnie at the Lupine, our local wool store, and she was so lovely. Turns out that she collaborated with Cynthia for yarn for the original Giorgio, and I thought, wow, that's cool. I am not skilled enough to dye up dark colors like that, so I thought, okay, I'm definitely getting it. Look at all of the variation of the brown on this one. I just love it. Bonnie, you've done such a great job. Bonnie is also knitting a cat. So yes, since I have like maybe eyes enough for another 10 cats, I decided that Giorgio needs a girlfriend. So I'm going to make him a girlfriend, and it will probably be a white kitty cat. After that, I just absolutely have to make this character. Try to guess which one. Try to guess. Who am I going to make? This one is also cool, but I'm not making that one. Maybe this one, I can't remember where. Yes, I'm making this one. I just find her extremely adorable, and of course sheep, like duh. I'm making a sheep for myself, for my little shelf full of yarn and handspun yarn and all of that. I'm making a sheep. Of course my daughters love playing with them too. And I have a little clip where my little one, the youngest one, is playing with Giorgio and showing body parts on it. She's so funny. Где глазки? Вот глазки. А где носик у кисы? Носик, вот носик. А где ушки? Вот тут ушки. А у кисы где ушки? Вот ушки. Вот ушки у кисы. Вот ушки. Да? Ротик где? Вот он, ротик. Вот у тебя вот ротик. А где хвостик? Хвостик. Хвостик где? Тут, да. Она говорит, хвостик это вот это. Вот хвостик, смотри, вот хвостик. Это хвостик. И вот хвостик. So yes, this is the bunny ordeal, the very first bunny that I knitted by this designer. Then I made a little sister for her, and now we have a cat who's going to have a girlfriend soon. Okay, this is all of my finished objects, and as for works in progress, I have some more that I haven't touched, like my twists and turns shawl and my Solveig shawl. I haven't done anything on them. I got carried away. Oh yes, I do have one more work in progress, but it's connected with spinning, so I invite you to chat with me all about spinning yarn. Let me just rearrange some stuff. I think in 2 episodes ago I was talking to you about spinning some of this fiber. It's called Gypsy. It's by Anna Grattan, the Little Wool Company, and it's 65% fine corriedale wool, 20% silk, 10% mohair, and 5% nylon glitter. And usually her fiber comes in 200-gram bats, and this is exactly what I spun. I always do like a little sample to see what it looks like, if I like it, and then I go and do the full thing. I loved spinning this fiber. It's so lovely, and it's just so bright and colorful, and look at all of that luxurious sparkling going on. Look at all these yellows and blues and purples inside the rich what would you call it, fuchsia color. So actually I don't know if I'm gonna order more. It's sort of like a puzzle for me. Like once I've done a little bit, I kind of want to go on to another color, which I did. And I also spun her strawberry sprinkles colorway. Not colorway, fiber. This one is corriedale wool, 80% and 20% rayon effects, which are these little nips of yellow, orange, red, purple, and blue, and yellow. And I haven't washed this skein, but it's 200 grams. And it was so much fun to spin as well. It's very similar in the composition wise, it's the same. This is apricot, this is strawberry, and I'm thinking that they would look together quite nicely together, like if I was gonna make a lip blanket maybe, or a sort of like a maybe striped sweater or something. This is so much fun to make. Then I ordered some fiber corriedale wool with nylon because I really wanted to make some handspun socks. And I dyed this myself. I don't know if I showed it last time, but I had this blue braid and the green yellow braid. And yeah, I spun this. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was lots of white, which was where the dye did not penetrate the braid. But in the end, I think it turned out pretty nice, I think. And this will become some nice socks. Last time I showed you a pair of socks that I knitted in Anna's Fibre, and I have been wearing them maybe for 2 weeks non-stop and no holes. They've held up really, really nicely, and they haven't peeled. Well, just maybe like a little bit here. All the silk and the mohair in them is amazing. So there's no nylon in these ones, which makes them super warm and delicious to wear, and also the colors are just amazing. So yes, that's what I'm wearing too. Right, what else? Where were we? Oh yes, at the Kumeu Showgrounds had a 100th anniversary celebration, and it was months ago actually. I have some footage of it if I don't forget to include it. Hi.
That crochet set was woven, I've done that one. This one's crochet. Right. So, you know, amazing what can be done on there. And it's just, we have a playing on. Yeah. And just, there's some that we fish at, some that we
How are you?
So do you like
Good. Happy to be here. Oh, yes.
I wouldn't mind an alpaca. I wouldn't mind an alpaca.
dragon one.
Yeah, the dragon one.
Shears here, one person shears 6 for Betty, supposed to be on stake number 3. Already gets straight to Betty Smith, looks like they want to stick the place here, stains 2 and 3. And Betty second sheep on stains 4 and 5.
Friend Sharon Dooney, and she had some alpaca fiber, which was 3 colored: gray, dark brown, and lighter brown. And I spun it into this gorgeous alpaca skein, which is super soft. And I even made a swatch, and it's so soft, but I have no idea what I'm going to knit with it because it's very kind of, what do you call it? The colors are very weird. I mean, yeah, if you have any ideas what I can make with 135 grams of alpaca fiber, I mean, I could do a shawl, but I don't think I need any more shawls. And yeah, so it will just be my my stash for a while. Oh yes, the next thing I did was, oh, this was so delicious to spin. So for my birthday, I ordered some fiber from Fibre Artemis. Yes, and this is 70% silk, 70% pullover, 30% silk. The colorway doesn't have any name, but it was a gradient braid from blue to green to brown to kind of burgundy and to red. And I spun it like that. I divided it into 2, and then color by color I spun it. So this is a true gradient. I just have to show you guys. Look at that. And because it has 30% silk, I think it needs to be something for the neck. So maybe a gradient shawl, or more like a scarf, because I want the colors not to be too close to each other. I want it to stripe, not to stripe, but to lay out as a gradient. I'm so pleased with how even my yarn is. I just want to come closer so that you can see it better. It was delicious to spin. It was a bit pricey. But I mean, I know how much work goes into making a bat like that with that many color variations. So yeah, I can totally understand and appreciate what work that has been put into this beautiful skein. At the moment I'm working on another Anna Grattan, the little wool company spin, which is her lavender fields. It's just corriedale in 6 different colors actually. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about this, because as a braid you can't really see all the colors that well, but it turns out there are these many colors. There's light lavender, blue, navy, purple, lilac, pink, gray, green, and yellow. So when you divide them like that, I mean, if I spun it just as is, and it became all like muddled, and I did not like the results. So what I'm doing right now is I divided it into 2 pieces, which is 100 gram each, and I spun 1 bobbin, and I'm gonna do the second one now, but I am doing 1 color at a time. So for example, I'm going to, as you see, I've separated them all because I didn't like how the green, for example, was mixing up with the pink or with the purple. It just didn't look nice. So I'm doing it from the fold, and then I go from one color, let's say blue, and then purple, and then these two are okay together, so I'm doing that, and then gray to green, as you can see here. And then I will, of course, the length of the pieces that I take out is different, so at some point the one color will apply on a different color, and at some point it will apply on the same color. I don't mind, but I'm really excited to see how it looks, just as an experiment, you know. And the last spinning project I want to show you is some of my very old hand spun stuff, which is, oh god, it looks horrible compared to what I can do now. This is one of my very first spins. I mean, compare. Can you see? This one is so overspun at places and underspun, and because of that, even though it's corriedale as well from Anna Gratten, it feels a bit more coarse than, let's say, these spins. So I thought, you know what, I am not inspired to make any garments from it, but I'm going to make a blanket. And here it is. This blanket will be very random. I'm going to make like little long scarves along the length of the blanket, and they might be the same width, maybe not. Actually, I made a swatch like that, and I thought, okay, that's fine, and I'll just continue. So I did continue, and I'm just alternating the colors whenever I feel like it. And I'm using US 8 5mm needles for this one. This is another potato chippy pattern, not pattern even, project that is going to be super easy to make. And then I will just combine them, and I might actually add the pop of color because I'm so bored with these gray colors. This is just so not me. I'm happy it is still recording. So this is what I'm working on. I'm doing some more spinning of this beautiful braid, and oh, it's so lovely. And I'm so close to the point where I'm going to apply them. And oh, another thing I wanted to show, spinning related. I don't know if I showed you this braid, but I got it as my Christmas present. This is the Fibre to Go, who the dyer behind which one is Lynn, and she lives in Auckland. So one day she had her garage open for anyone to visit, and she had all her lovely fiber and yarn there, and I went and I saw this and went, ooh. It's called Dark Peacock, and it is 30% silk, 70% merino, 100-gram braid, and the merino is black here and only the silk is dyed. And this is probably the most unusual braid I've ever seen. That's why I didn't mind paying this much. And this probably will be my next spin. She had a sample knitted with this, and it was just so delicious. So yeah, can't wait to spin this lovely fiber. Yeah. Right. Also, of course, I want to go on into spinning this, my own hand-dyed roving, which I already separated into two similar pieces. As you can see, I want to add this to my shop. Let me know if you would be interested in purchasing any hand-dyed fiber from me. I'm going to experiment a little bit more and see how to dye these so that there isn't that much white between them. But to be honest, as I said in the previous one, like the white just blends nicely and the color is just so nice and pastel, and I kind of like it as well. So we will see how this skein spins up. And then I have 1 kilogram of just white, pure white corriedale that I'm planning to dye, and I bet it will be so exciting to dye your own fiber. And then if I have more than I want to spin, I'll probably pop it in my shop and I will keep you posted about it. I know not everyone is interested in spinning, but I think when it comes to knitting with hand spun, even if you're not a spinner, I am sure you would be interested in trying some, because I don't know, this one has more character than any commercial yarn. It's thick and thin, it's been touched by loving hands of a spinner, and yeah, that makes it that much more special. So I was watching, yesterday I was watching Jill and Kylie's podcast, which is Cup of Tea and a Yarn. Yes, Cup of Tea and Yarn podcast, and they inspired me so much by their hand spinning. And I think Jill, you were just about to apply this colorway, and she was also knitting a flax jumper, and I thought, wow, this is gonna be perfect for a flax. 200 gram of about 4 ply would be super nice to knit flax sweater. But the problem is my daughters have so many hand knits that I don't even know if they need anymore. But why not try? I mean, I always choose for them to wear hand knits. For example, today my daughter was wearing this dress that I made for Lydia when she was around 3 or 2. And now my youngest is 1.5, but this is such a great pattern, which I think is Little Jade or something. I will find it and link it down below. But she will grow into it, and this is really nice merino and cotton blend, and I hand dyed it and knitted it, and she looked super cute in it. So yeah, I think this and this will become some maybe flax jumpers, but also we need to have a little bit more cowls because yeah, it's winter, it's getting cold here. Even my husband said that he wants a cowl, and he usually doesn't even ask me to knit anything except for a hoodie. He wants me to knit him a hoodie from some cotton yarn, and I said, you know what, let me buy you one. No, not knitting a hoodie. Okay, the last thing I wanted to say, my podcast recommendations are pretty much, well, the first thing that comes to my mind is Jill and Kylie. I will link them here, and they're lovely Kiwi friends who are inspiring me and all of the other crafters here in New Zealand. You can go and watch them. And I have a question. So this week I wanted to ask you for other podcast recommendations. If you have any other, all around the world, doesn't matter where they are from, because thanks to you guys, I have found some really interesting podcasts to watch and made some friends, and I really love discovering new people, new knitters who are brave enough to go and record themselves. So I would love to know who they are that you love to watch and why you like watching them, because I want these videos to be as much fun for you as they are for me. And if you have any suggestions how to make it more fun for you guys, if there is anything else you want me to show you, do let me know. And that's all I wanted to say. Come see me at Woolfest. The next video will be all about Woolfest. I'm going there, I'm taking my camera, I'm going to have little interviews with people if I can. I will buy some stuff and I will show you all of that. So if you want to not miss it, do subscribe And if you found it at all entertaining and interesting, you can give me a thumbs up. I will appreciate it a lot. Okay, that's all. Bye. Thanks for watching. Look at this beautiful cat. Finally, Mr. Giorgio, with his beautiful cat-like eyes, long whiskers, is done. I had to add a little bit of a different color. So he's dry. Now we're gonna trim the whiskers. Here he is with a nice head shaping. I added some whiskers, and I love how his arms look so strong, and his tiny feet, and the tail. So cute, so cute, so cute. Now we're gonna try on different clothes. Right now he has his sweater and the bag, but I'm gonna put him in these pajamas as well. And here's the first outfit. The lovely colorwork sweater. Meow. I think he likes it. The bag is also cute. Now, pajamas. Oh. I love these pajamas on him. Looks so good. Originally, these pajamas were knitted for Odile, and this dress, no, hold on, no, this pajamas is for Odette. I got confused. This was the first dress, that was the first Easter dress, but I love it how you can interchange their clothes. Yay! This will be next. Aggie the sheep. Shall we put him in a dress? Yes, why not? Turns out Giorgio can be a very nice Georgina. Pum pum. Pum pum pum. Oi! Who's there? Huh? Hey. Look at my whiskers. Look at my ears. Look at the beautiful color of my skin. I'm so cute. And look how neat the stitching is. I'm quite proud of myself.